Greetings, everyone. This is Payman Lorenzo, your host of the Leaders of Heart podcast. They have another incredible leader with a heart, incredible enlightened soul, my good friend John Donnelly from beautiful Ireland. John and I connected, I would say 2, 3 weeks ago, from an incredible community, the Serving Circle. Again, I've had so many incredible conversation with amazing human beings from that from that group. I had a call last night with Wendy Corner, an incredible lady. She's from the UK but lives in Australia. And when I started that call with her, I said, "Listen, we all need to, all of us from that community, we need to come together, chip in, and build a statue for Tyson. We don't know yet where we can put that statue physically, but at least we can have one virtually somewhere, and eventually we can put it somewhere for him, because he deserves amazing credit for stuff for starting and creating and building this incredible community, attracting this, I mean, phenomenal people. So, and you're one such prime example, John. um just a little about you, and I'm sure we're going to cover that in that podcast, but just to people that don't know a little bit, John is you have an holistic academy that is about making people stronger together. You're dedicated to improving human connections, health, and well-being. And your motto is, how do we show up and enjoy life every day, and helping people create a lifestyle that they enjoy. So there's a lot more that we will unpack during this call. John, brother, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Pam. What a beautiful introduction. Thank you. Lovely to be
Thank you very
here.
much. Pleasure is all mine. So for people who don't know you, above and beyond what I just said, who's John?
Okay, so John is a guy that woke up to life about 3 years ago on a spiritual retreat to
Good
Pam
morning.
uh, so John went to a spiritual retreat with my spiritual mentor Jason Chan, who is dedicated his life to the healing journey, and his program is called the Infinite Arts. And the Infinite Arts is about Tai Chi, yoga, meditation, and Qigong. And he is the most incredible teacher. And I was so fortunate to spend a week with him 3 years ago. And literally, I woke up, my energy shifted completely. I just, wow, I said, life is fun, life is enjoyable, life is exciting. And before that, my life had been a bit dull and a bit boring and a bit sort of, my energy wasn't great, and I was a little bit depressed and a little bit frustrated and angry and all that sort of stuff. And all that beautiful journey of, wow, now I've woken up. It's time to start living again. So.
Yes. I read a quote about a year ago that to this day stays in my mind, and that says the two most important dates in our lives are, first, when we are born, and second, when we realize why we are here, when we find out why we are here. And when you do that, you become a different person. And I'm so
Yeah,
glad that you add that. I had mine as well about a year ago, and I also had my spiritual awakening, but that's for another topic. So
yeah,
that's amazing, John. I love that.
yeah, yeah.
Now, tell us, John. First of all, the kind of conversation I like to have on my podcast is heart to heart, to see what's in the heart of the person, to have to look, so to speak, under the hood. So I'm going to ask you first a series of questions to get to know you uh, as a person. So, John, tell us, what makes you smile?
Okay, so I wake up in the morning full of gratitude for everything. I just wake up in the morning full of gratitude for my life now, for my family, for my friends, for my business, for my opportunities, and I love connecting with people. So everything right now, everything makes me smile. Everything, because life is, for me, life is for loving. Life is for
Absolutely.
loving, and I love my life right now. And it's just, I have so much great gratitude for everything in my life right now. So
Mhm.
I celebrate life every single day. I celebrate life every single day, and that's my opportunity now, because that's my choice now. It wasn't always that way, but now that's what I do. That's what I do every
Absolutely.
day.
Amazing. Fantastic. Now, tell us, John, what makes you come alive? What lights you up?
I guess people in my life, Pam, and the people that I get to meet now,
Mhm.
the opportunities that appear every single day, the connections that I make every day, those the just the conversations,
Mhm.
oh, it's just all of it. It just it's totally it totally invigorates me every day, the conversations that I
Absolutely.
have. Yeah, yeah. And all of, family obviously is most important to me. Family is most important.
Totally. Totally.
After that, the friends that I'm making, the relationships that I'm building, the connections I'm making around the world, and the business is a passion. I mean,
Mhm.
business is an absolute passion, and making connections that make a difference. That's like when I make those connections that make a difference, and I see the effect of that and the ripple effect of that. That really lights me up. Yeah.
Absolutely. Love that. Now, what makes you sad and angry?
That's an old life. That's a past
Hmm.
life. that's
Okay.
that's that's a life where I was angry and frustrated and depressed for years. Payment. That's a life where I felt that I wasn't good enough, or I felt that
Hmm.
that life had passed me by a bit, or that I'd failed in different opportunities, and I had uh, I had been conditioned to believe that obviously I had accepted a lot of different beliefs that weren't empowering beliefs. I had experiences in my life which weren't very positive, and I said I had taken those on board as being me, but then I woke up and realized, no, they're not me. They're just experiences to bring me to where I am now. So
Totally.
that's a past life. So I don't go there anymore.
Awesome. That's
I,
amazing.
yeah, yeah.
What scares you?
Nothing, absolutely nothing.
Ooh,
Nothing
amazing.
scares me. Nothing. I trust. I have so much trust in the journey that I'm on. I have so much trust in the people that I'm with. I have so much trust in the opportunities I have. I have so
Hmm.
much trust in life, and I have so much faith that nothing scares me. Nothing.
Wonderful. Now, what would you say is your personal superpower?
I guess showing up with a purpose, showing up with a mission, showing up with
Hmm.
an attitude of infinite possibilities, showing up with a desire to do something incredible, to enjoy every minute and to love every minute, and sharing that purpose and sharing that mission, sharing that opportunity with people who are also people that are showing up with that desire and mission and purpose.
Hmm.
And it's like the energy just we connect, and suddenly the energy just vibrates at another level, and
Sure.
things start to happen. Magic starts to happen. So
Totally.
yeah, yeah,
Absolutely. I noticed in our conversation so far that there's one word that you've been using numerous times, and that is gratitude.
yeah.
Now, tell us, what is the one thing you're most gratitude for? The one thing you're most grateful for. Sorry.
I'm grateful for life. I'm grateful
Mm,
for life. Every morning I wake up, and there's energy running through my body, and my blood is
mm,
pumping, and I'm breathing. Wow,
yes.
there's another opportunity to do something. I'm grateful because, I mean, when I think back, when I reflect back on my lifetime and the number of times that I probably could have killed myself, I could have, I could have.
Really?
I
Wow.
used to drive. I used to drive a lot and spent a lot of time driving. And the number of times that I almost fell asleep at the wheel, the number of
Wow.
times that I had crashes which were near misses, the number of times that I could have been dead and gone, and I think, wow, I'm still here. I'm still alive. I'm healthy. I've so many chances in life. So yeah, I'm so grateful for everything, Payment, in my life. But most of
Hmm.
all, I'm grateful for my family. That's
Mm,
so precious to me. I'm so grateful for.
yeah, absolutely. You mentioned that you could have died multiple times, but I think that's because you were not meant to die yet because you still have a mission to fulfill. What would you say is your mission in this lifetime?
I guess my mission is to show up every day and love life every day, and
Hmm.
to see where that takes me, and to embrace every experience, and embrace life, and love. I guess love is the energy that inspires me the most. So the result, and where we end up is not. I don't think it's the most significant thing. I think the most significant thing is that we love everything we do, and we share that energy, we share that love, And that's the energy that makes the world and creates the world that we're living in. And to share that, because there's so much negativity in the world, there's so much conflict in the world, there's so many people like who are struggling, and there's so much things that are wrong, and yet it's all just perfect because we're it's an evolution process that we're going through.
Sure.
And I think there's a new level of conscious awareness, if you like, around that some of the things we've done in the past are not serving us as a society, as a people, as nations, as governments, as institutions. And some of those old institutions and things that we've done in the last 100 years are going to crumble and disappear, and there's going to be a new consciousness emerge. And just
Amen
to be part of that is so exciting, to be part of that. And so you got to show up every day and love the journey. That's the destination. None of us know the destination, I don't think.
Well, as I say, the fun part is the journey itself, not the destination. Just
Yeah.
like when you plan on reaching, say, to become a successful business person, whatever your goal is, 1 million, 10 million, a billion, whatever.
Yeah.
It's not the amount of money or the goal that you reach. It's the person you become in the process that's much infinitely more valuable than any amount of money or any reward you can get.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, the definition of success, Tim, I mean, what is the definition of success? For me, success is waking up in the morning, you're still breathing. That's success.
Love that. Love that. That's that's among my favorite description of success. The other one that I really love is from another very successful person who said, for me, if as a result of me being on this planet, that allowed just one person to breathe and smile and be happy, then I consider that success. And mine, that comes from a billionaire. So it's not someone that is. And when I heard that person say that, I say, wow, that is so true.
Yeah. Because
Awesome.
because I mean, everybody's got their own viewpoint about what that is, and I mean, life. I have so many opportunities now in life. There's so many. It's incredible. I mean, I could live another 100 lifetimes and not be able to fulfill all those opportunities.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
That's at the same time scary and it's a very exciting prospect at the same time.
Yeah.
So let me now take you on a trip, on a fun trip down the memory line. When you're a young boy, and say primary school or secondary school, people always used to ask us, whether it's parents, teachers, family, whatever. So, John, what do you want to become when you grow up? What was your answer back then?
Well, I guess when I was a kid, him and sport and football in particular was my passion, and sport was my passion, and having fun, and I was very competitive. I guess I was very, very competitive. I always wanted to be the best at whatever I did, and football. We have a game here in Ireland called Gaelic football.
Yes,
it's sort of pretty much exclusive to Ireland. They do play some of it in New York and places like that, and a couple of other places around the world, but it's mostly Irish. And I was pretty good at it, and I loved it. And so sport was my passion. And so I guess I wanted to be. I never really wanted to be a professional sports person, but I wanted to be the best that I could be because it was an amateur game. But I always wanted to be the best I could be at that, And that was my burning ambition, was just to be brilliant, brilliant sports person. And I've never lost that sort of competitive instinct, if you like, from that. That was like so that was when I was young. And then when I got a bit older, I wanted to go into business, and of course I wanted to be successful in that as well. And then the wheels fell off for a while because I didn't happen to be too good at that at that time. But then when I reflect back on it, it was all just perfect payment, because I needed to learn those lessons that there's a certain discipline, there's a certain strategy around business, and you got to learn some lessons, and you got to learn lessons around money, and you got to learn lessons around people and how to treat people. And I needed to learn all those lessons for what I'm doing now, and now the business success is starting to happen now in my life, and I'm loving that and embracing all of that now. So I
Sure.
needed to learn all those lessons. So yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, when you were a young kid in school, what was your favorite subject back then?
Mathematics, actually, mathematics
Really?
was yeah,
Wow. That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
A
yeah.
numbers guy.
I,
Okay.
I was a numbers guy. Yeah, the numbers always made sense, and I was
Mm-hmm.
pretty good at that. So I guess quite a logical brain.
Mm-hmm.
I was most of the time in my logical mind at that time. So yeah.
And which subject you could not stand at all?
Um, Let me think. What was it? No, yeah, I was. There was nothing out of the ordinary that stands out. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, nothing that stands out that I didn't particularly like. I sort of
Okay.
enjoyed school. I mean, I had a good schooling. I enjoyed it, and
Mm-hmm.
teachers were good education. Went on to university. I studied accountancy, economics, and accountancy, and yeah, so I had a pretty good schooling. Yeah, good education. So.
You mentioned football. What was your football? What's your football team?
So I don't follow the soccer too much. My son is a Man United fan,
Mm-hmm.
Manchester United.
He must be happy now, eh?
He's a big Manchester United fan, and of course he's delighted that Cristiano Ronaldo is back with Man
Mm-hmm.
United.
Oh yeah. Oh
But
yeah.
my sport was Gaelic football, and
Okay.
yeah, Gaelic football. So
Okay.
that was my passion. But
Awesome.
I love to watch. I actually love golf, and we've got a couple of brilliant golfers here from Ireland. Rory McIlroy is, I guess, one of my heroes. He's from Northern Ireland.
Is
A
Gaelic football similar to Aussie rules football?
little bit like Aussie rules, a little bit like it, not quite the
Mm-hmm.
same, but yeah, a little bit similar. Some of the
Uh,
Irish guys go over to Australia to play the Aussie
okay.
rules. Yeah, yeah,
Okay. You're
yeah.
not into rugby?
I like a game of rugby as well, but I didn't grow up with rugby. I grew up with
Mm.
Gaelic, but I like to watch the rugby as well, and
Okay.
especially the All Blacks, and
Oh yeah.
they're just phenomenal. Wow.
Yeah. I grew up in the southwest of France, which is rugby nation, and obviously football was my passion, religion. But anyway, that's awesome. Wow,
Yeah.
cool. Now let's move forward. Looking back at your path from the time you left school to now, how would you describe your path? Would you say your path was linear, or was it more like twists and turns, like a roller coaster?
Oh, the roller coaster for definite payment, absolute roller coaster, and yeah, it was like, I mean, there was some wonderful times, there was some great experiences, I had some great opportunities, and I
Hmm.
pursued them, and I had some great teachings and learnings, and some great mentors, and
Hmm.
but then there was times where I just couldn't make anything work, and I was depressed and angry and frustrated and upset, and there was a lot of times like that, and there was times when I felt like giving up, and there was times when I felt that I just couldn't make things work. There was other times where, like, I guess when I reflect on it, there was some really great experiences. Um, there was some obviously I have a lot of really great friends, great family.
Hmm.
I guess I very blessed that I had always an abundance of things in my life when I look at what it could have been.
Sure.
So yeah, grateful for a lot of it, but definitely a roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah.
Because and yeah, so it was a fun ride, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. You know, having a life that is like a roller coaster makes it much more interesting, fun, and much more enriching in terms of lessons, because that's when we learn. Now, you mentioned something that you said you had multiple occasions and opportunities to leave this world. So, and I'm sure you heard the saying, change your story, change your life. And by story, I mean what we keep on telling ourselves,
Yeah,
on a daily basis. So when you had to change your story to change your life, literally to going from being depressed and on the verge of
yeah,
killing yourself, what did you do to change your story so that you can change your life so that you can get back on the right track? Did you do it through help of friends, families, mentors, books? So tell us
yeah.
about the process that you change your story to change your life to the point that now you're successful, fulfilling, and happy.
Yeah. So I guess books would have been some of the books that I've read would have been probably the major influences. Um, I started the personal development journey about 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
My first book was called The Magic of Thinking Big. That was my first sort of personal development book. But then I got into spiritual books later on, and a book called A Course in Miracles, which will be it's a spiritual psychotherapy, and it's actually defined as a course in mind training. And that book, I guess that book is probably more responsible than any other book for me changing my mind and changing my life. And it's a spiritual text, and it's about I guess spiritual psychotherapy, if you like. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful book that I pick up. I have it on my desk every single day. I have it open right now. And some of the lessons in that book were so incredible in comparison to what I previously believed before I started reading it, that it was almost beyond my comprehension what the message was. And probably for a lot of years it was beyond my comprehension. But the intellectual understanding of the book is a little bit different from the experience of putting into practice the teachings. And I guess when I went to my spiritual mentor 3 years ago, because he actually teaches from the book as well. And when I started to experience the shift in energy by putting into practice the teachings, it became more sort of real for me then. And for me, everything is energy, and the energy shift payment has to come on all levels: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic. It's like that's the holistic. That's why I'm involved in your holistic academy. It's a holistic. For me, holistic is all levels of your being. It's your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and energetic. And the energy shift is an experience. It's not just intellectual. It's an actual experience. And when you experience that energy shift, and then you reflect back on what that was, and then you start reading, you pick up the book again, you read it again, you're reading it from a different place.
Absolutely.
And so the Course in Miracles for sure payment, but many books. I've hundreds of books that I've read, personal development books like Think and Grow Rich was a huge influence. But we talked earlier about Michael Singer, The Untethered Soul, some incredible books that I've read over the years. But then the experience of meeting people who are doing this type of work, meeting spiritual mentors and business mentors who had that desire and mission to do something in the world and make a difference in the world. Those people inspired me. Some of those people inspired me incredibly, and generally people inspire me because everybody has a story, and it's everybody alive is a success, and there's inspiration. I mean, one of the guys that inspires me is a guy that is homeless, and he's not so much homeless, but he's got serious issues, and he goes to a center every day, where he's taken care of. But I get to meet him and have a conversation with him. That inspires me because I have so much compassion for people. So yeah.
That's amazing. Wow. Now, tell us about your business. What do you do?
Okay, so Your Holistic Academy is a project payment about. It's a platform for holistic professionals to come together, to connect, to create health and well-being projects. And it's about support, it's about inspiration, it's about obviously it's about energy, it's about healing, it's about a holistic lifestyle. And it's people who have dedicated their lives to that healing journey, people who have dedicated their lives to understanding the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, all those aspects of themselves, people who have a passion for health, a passion for well-being, and a passion to inspire other people and to share that wisdom, share that experience, share that knowledge with other people. So it's a very much a heart-centered community that we're building, Payman, and we're building that community around the world. I'm building collaborations with other people, like we mentioned Tyson earlier. We're definitely going to build that statue to Tyson. Yeah.
Sure, he definitely deserves it. Yes.
And it's about making those connections and building those because for me, there's a lot of work to be done. I mean, there's a
Sure.
lot of conflict in the world. There's a lot of people who are feeling uncomfortable. They're feeling a little bit isolated, a bit left out. They're feeling that they're maybe not supported properly in life. And I think, we got to share a vision of a better life for everybody.
Sure. Especially overcome this prevalent, fear that we see all around us, and it's perpetrated by the powers that be, whether purposely on without purpose, whatever. That's a different story. But this constant state of fear that we need to overcome.
Yeah, and I mean, one of my favorite books again is A Journey from Fear to Love. A very close friend of mine, and when you think about it, a journey from fear to love, I mean, that's the journey. That's the journey for all of us. That is the journey, and that, I guess, that's probably the best way I can describe it. That's what we're here to do.
Yeah. So when you say you're building a community, are you trying to connect, like network other holistic, professionals? Or are you trying to offer those services? The people are trying to maybe find solutions or healings to their problems through a holistic approach.
Yeah. So the community is a community of holistic professionals who have got they've got so much to offer in terms of healing, in terms of expertise around sleep, nutrition, meditation, mindfulness, life coaches, all of that expertise, Tai Chi, all of that expertise is so important for any community to have access to those holistic professionals, because the culture, I believe there needs to be a culture shift towards a holistic lifestyle and a holistic model, and especially in business, the corporate culture is often about something completely different. It's about competition, and it's about results, and it's about what is the bottom line, I think the holistic lifestyle is the bottom line. Should be the bottom line for everybody, because
So when you're building this community to bring together other holistic professionals, are you looking to bring other professionals that are doing whatever they're doing in their field, but doing it in a way that is heart-centered? And are you looking for them to come, for example, one is specializing in one aspect, another aspect, and bring them together so that together they can either share their wisdom, their knowledge with you? Are you looking for that kind of, connections? Because if that's what you're looking for, I can connect you to as many people as you want. I've had incredible people on my podcast so far, over 80 people. And as you know, everyone that comes on my podcast, by default, they must be someone that's heart-centered. So I can connect you. I mean, as I told you last time we spoke, have a look at the list of people I had on my podcast. Any one of them you want me to connect you to, I would be happy to do so. And I already have in the back of my mind at least 2 or 3 people that I will do a connection for you right away, because they're incredible. So
that sounds amazing. I'd love that, payment. That's incredible. Yeah.
Pleasure is all mine. I mean, you connected me to an incredible human being, and now the least I can do is to do the same.
Sure.
Even if you hadn't connected me to her, I would have gladly connected you to other people that I'm blessed to be in contact with, because I love what you're doing.
That's brilliant, Payman, and I really appreciate that. And I feel this is what we need to do around the world. We need to build these collaborations and build these connections, and build these relationships whereby we've all got a mission to make a difference in the world. We've all got a mission to share this experience, to share this love, share this energy. And that's what I just want to give this opportunity to as many people to live this type of lifestyle where they have so much gratitude for life and so much love to give and so much energy to share with people. It's a gift. It's a gift. We have this gift. We have the gift. Every single person is that gift.
Absolutely.
So once you recognize it, you gotta share it.
Are you looking for these professionals to come and maybe do to share their wisdom in terms of presentation in your community so that they can benefit from it and you can mutually benefit from each other, and then you will be invited into their community to do presentation on a topic that you're passionate about? Is that what
you're? Yeah. So it's about education. It's an education platform, really, Pim, and it's about connection, education, collaboration, building projects together, and offering health and well-being, holistic health and well-being to all the communities that we connect with. So right across the general public, the corporate sector, the public sector, we can offer holistic health and well-being projects to every organization that we engage with, and we build the expertise on our platform. We build that expertise, and then we start sharing that expertise. So yeah, it's a beautiful project, and it's just incredible to get to work with all these amazing people doing this work.
I mean, now that I think about it, at least at the minimum, the last 10 to 15 people I had on my podcast were all involved in some way, shape, or form, and with anything to do with holistic approach. So some of them were like a muscle tuner. One was trying like a sound healer. Another was helping people to, I mean, she cured her cancer with just meditation. And now she's teaching that to other people. I mean, I can connect you to incredible amount of people. I mean, that's, as I said, just go over the list of the guests I had on my podcast. The one that you like, maybe have a look at a few minutes of theirs, and if you, and just let me know.
I feel like I should come to Canada now and have coffee with you.
More than coffee, whatever you want, wine, whiskey, whatever you want. I'd be honored to do so. You know, if there's any ways I can help, especially if I can help someone that is building a heart-centered business, for me, it's the most natural thing to do. I've always been a very, outspoken cheerleader for people that are following their heart. But now that I'm focusing on helping, especially people that are heart-centered, I mean, that's a no-brainer. It's not even a win-win, because for me, win-win is not good enough in this competitive environment. For me, it has to be a no-brainer. And this is one of those prime examples of no-brainers.
Brilliant. I love it.
Awesome. So that's a perfect segue. Let's talk about cause. What would you say is a cause that you're deeply passionate? Like for me, it's education. That's what I'm focused on right now. Like, as I said, I'm launching a product on Kickstarter soon. And for every five units we sell, we will be sponsoring 1 year of education for a child. Basically, we're taking kids from the streets in New Delhi, India, and then putting them in schools to give them a chance of a normal life. So for me, that's education. What is a cause that you're deeply passionate, John?
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that now, because I only had a conversation yesterday, would you believe, with someone who has got a passion to share from 3 years of age to 7 years of age, to share a different type of education around teaching kids at that age about self-esteem and about, so it's like an extracurricular activities outside of their normal schoolwork. And
sorry to interrupt you. Is that guy from Australia?
No, it's not actually. It's a lady from the UK. But I'm sure there's other people with the same idea. But if you think about it, until the age of 7 years of age, we literally, I mean, the program, if you think about the programs that almost dictate the rest of our lives, almost, is like from we're born until we're 7 years of age. And by the time you're 7 years of age, you've got all these programs.
Yes.
So a lot of, when I think back and you think about the education system, how many of those programs are actually serving us for the rest of our lives? So if you could sort of, I think it's incredible that someone has this vision to start with 3-year-olds and start teaching
Wow.
them about self-esteem at 3 years of age and 4 years of age up until 7 years
My
of age.
God. I will definitely connect you with an incredible gentleman I had on my podcast about 3 months ago. His name is Damon McDonald from Australia. He
Yeah,
just launched a book which is all about inspiring and giving self-esteem to young boys. Because just a summary of his story, he grew up in a very wealthy family in Australia. His father was very successful in financial services, but his father was a narcissistic. Anytime he tried to do anything, he was telling him, you're not good enough. When I was your age, I was 10 times better than you. And that continued all his life. So that, you know, continued with him. And it took him 2 divorces, two suicide attempts, and one heart attack to finally say, "F it, I'm gonna follow my heart. I'm gonna do what I wanted to do." And this was a guy, and he set out after that to write a book on how to instill self-esteem in boys. And mind you, this is a guy that has never had never written a book before that, and now he just launched an amazing series
yeah,
of educational books for young kids, especially for young boys.
yeah,
And he just launched it, and his mission is to change,
yeah.
is to give confidence to 1 billion boys in the world. I will definitely,
Wow.
if you want, connect you with him.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely amazing. So that's what I love about this podcast, connecting with incredible human
Yeah,
beings, you know.
yeah. Well, I think I mean, that's the highest, if you think what's the highest good we can do, and that is to
Hmm.
teach our kids about life in a different way, and to create that vision for kids that
Hmm.
which is it's a different type of education, and it complements everything else. But it brings the ripple effect of that payment, I think, would be
Oh,
amazing. And
absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
I think I
So yeah,
we have an opportunity to create an incredible community, especially that are heart driven, that are building impactful businesses, that are changing lives at every level. Some focusing on education, some on whatever
yeah,
other aspect, but together we all doing the same thing, which is
yeah,
helping increase the overall quality of life, the consciousness, the energy, the vibration of this planet.
yeah. Absolutely, yeah. So I mean, there's so many projects, Tim, and
Hmm.
there's so many incredible, and every day now I get to meet people who've got a vision to make a difference in the world. Every single day I get to meet those
Yeah.
people, and there's just so much
Yeah.
inspiration. I mean, I get inspired.
Yes.
I get inspired totally by the people that I'm meeting every day.
Hmm.
So yeah, so there's so many projects around how we change, raise as you said, raise the consciousness, raise the vibration
Hmm.
for everyone, and stronger together is our tagline. So yeah, I just get to connect with so many incredible people, Pam, and so and none of us we're all connected. We are all connected. We are all the same
Well,
energy.
energy.
Yeah,
Yes.
all the same energy. Yeah. So
We
let's
all we all
let's let's build those bridges, and let's
absolutely.
build.
I will.
Yeah,
I know what to do. I will connect it to a few amazing people and that I have in mind. But as I told you last time, just have a look at the list of the 80 people I had
yeah,
on my podcast. Any one of
yeah.
them that you want me, just let me know. Send me their name, and I will make an introduction right away for you.
Fabulous, fabulous. That's fantastic, Pamela. Thanks so much.
Absolutely, very welcome. So now let me ask you now some fun questions to wrap this off. So first of all, again, let's take you now on another trip, but this time to anytime, anywhere that you want, whether past, present, future.
Yeah,
Imagine now that you have a time machine.
yeah.
Which period in time would you want to go and why?
Well, there's right now, Pamela, there's just one thing comes to my mind. Okay,
Mm,
and I spent about 4 or 5 years ago. I spent 2 weeks in Australia in Perth. My
hmm.
daughter lives there,
Wow.
and we went to the beach, and the hot sand underneath my feet, and the climate, the temperature, and the
Mm,
beautiful beach, and the hot sand. The hot sand was almost so hot that I could almost not walk on the beach. But that memory and that vision, just to go back onto that beach and spend time on that beach with my daughter, and spend time in a beautiful climate, in a beautiful country, and that is just calling me. So,
go, 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 go. It's
Yeah,
calling you, John.
it's
Go.
calling me. Yeah, it's calling me. So that is my mission right now. There's
Mhm.
many things, but once I
Yeah.
get there, that's calling me right now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Let me just warn you. I had an amazing lady last night. She made the move from Scotland to precisely Perth, and she said she could not handle the difference between going from the tropical climate of Scotland, to there, which she wasn't used to seeing 300 years of warm, hot sun over there. She said she was lucky if she could get 3 days in a month, of sun,
Yeah.
but there. So that might be an issue for you, but I'm sure you can handle that. Now, let's continue with the time machine. Let's imagine now that you can go back in time and sit face to face with the 18-year-old John. What would be the number one piece of advice you would give to your 18-year-old self, knowing all that you know now?
Oh wow, that's a hard one. I guess it would be accept and trust and believe and accept experiences and not run
Hmm.
away from them or hide from them or
Yes.
just accept more. Because all of those experiences, when I reflect back, Pam,
Hmm.
all of those experiences were so invaluable. At the time, they were tough. There was some
Sure.
hard times. There was some just misery and frustration and anger and all that stuff. But right now, I guess if I look back, I think, why not just accept life, accept it, and accept that it's important that you go through that experience, that experience is for you, that's for you, and so that's in hindsight. I guess I would be someone who's now 18 years of age. Accept the fact that life is giving you exactly what you need right
Absolutely. Life is like this life is like a school. We're here to learn and experience as many things as possible. When
now.
something happens to us, doesn't matter how painful it might be at the time, it's a lesson. And I'm sure you heard that, the power of asking the right questions.
Yeah,
Instead of asking and whining and complaining and what did I do to deserve this? Why is it happening to me? Instead of asking that question, which is negative and takes you down the wrong path, we
yeah,
need to ask ourselves a different question, empowering question, which is, what is a lesson for me to learn here? What is this lesson trying to teach
yeah,
me? When we
yeah,
do that, life becomes completely different.
yeah. I love that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, tell us, do you have your own podcast?
I do Facebook lives with people, Pam, and
Okay.
I invite people just to, and
Hmm.
we do a Facebook and we have a conversation, and so I invite members of your Holistic Academy, I invite them to come and sometimes I invite guests along, and I just have a conversation, and I love to hear stories I love to
Hmm.
hear stories about people's lives and where they're at and what they're doing and what their passion is. Yeah, so
Hmm.
so yeah, I
That's
love to.
awesome.
I love to chat to people, and
Awesome.
so
Now,
yeah.
imagine that today you have the most special guest in the world, which is yourself. So you're interviewing yourself. What is the
Yeah.
first question you want to ask yourself? Don't think too much. What is the first question that comes to your mind?
What do you love? What do you really love? What do you love? That's the only question. What is it that you love to do? That's the only
Awesome.
question. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, do you have any parting tips for anyone listening right now? Any last words of wisdom?
Well, yeah, I guess for me, Pam, and first and foremost, gratitude for everything. Gratitude for everything in your life right now.
Mhm.
Gratitude for your family, for your friends, for whatever that looks like, whatever shape it takes. Gratitude for it. That's probably the greatest lesson I've learned over the last couple of years is to be grateful for everything, and to accept life and to trust in life, and to know that you're exactly where you're supposed to be right now, and that's a great start every day. That is a great start every day, and then at the end of the day, gratitude for whatever you've experienced. Um, for me, that would be fundamental to everything that I do right now. Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, if someone wants to connect with you, what's the best way to do so?
So we're all over social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on LinkedIn, we're on yourholisticacademy.com. We're everywhere. So yeah, so yourholisticacademy.com, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. You'll find us there, Pim, and yeah.
Awesome. Sounds good. I will definitely put all of those in the show notes. Listen, John, we can talk for hours. We're totally on the same page.
Yeah.
But we'll definitely do a follow-up in a few weeks
Yeah.
to hear how things are evolving with you. And hopefully by then
Yeah.
I'll also have some things to report as well. So, but for
Yeah.
now, I salute you. You're a true leader with a heart. You're enlightened soul. Keep shining your light. You're doing a God's work on this planet. Stay safe. Stay awesome. God bless, brother. Have an
Thank you
awesome
so
day.
much.
Take
Thank you
care.
so much.
Thank you
Take
very
care.
much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.